What? Hello people and welcome back to my Satisfactory world. Since the last time, I've continued trying to make this feel more like a city. I'm in a little bit of a road system that I can use to drive around, navigate, and it just kind of looks pretty. That's probably the biggest. Because there's more street lights, and I've got it where it runs right down this main street here where I built the power lines. Finished those as well. They go all the way down. Let's check this out once it's nice and bright. Before I set out working on the city again this week, I took to some exploration, collected a bunch of power slugs, hard drives especially were my main focus in the beginning. I found wet concrete was one that I was really looking for. I did get that, but it turns out there are a lot of useful ones out there. Got to do my fair amount of fighting. I forget that combat is a part of this game, but I kind of love it. It really is a nice break sometime to just run around and enjoy some of the other aspects of this game. Some great scenes, some great terrains to check out. And blowing up aliens along the way is definitely a plus. I love the game's movement, and being outside and around this world really sometimes feels like I'm playing a different game. Forget how sheltered I keep myself up in the north. Maybe I need to get out more. Oh, Jesus. Fix it. You should have put me on the front lines. I would have been a good infantryman. With the sun having risen, let's continue our drive. Now I put a bunch of different trucks and vehicles around, just kind of parked there, just to try to kind of bring a little bit of life. Kind of dorky. I kind of like it too. I never even used the tractors. They look kind of funny. Going along as if they're bringing things across. Got trucks down there. It's a differently colored pathway. Just another layer on top of everything. Makes it feel bustling and busy and detailed. Little trucks. Driving around just makes it all feel a little bit more fun. The sense of scale goes up a bit more. So back down here, and of course it loops around the main production building. It didn't make you take a driver's test on this planet, so. I just think it looks nice to have a bit of a path. Feels a little more finished, a little polished. I think I want to add another couple rows of these power lines eventually, but this one took long enough. I'll do that at some point. Try to keep the same style with these little bridges over the conveyor belts. So now, I also made it so that it's shot over by where we're going to be building a little bit next. Just behind the ring of fire. I am currently, I'm starting work on something here. This is going to be extra plastic because I've got extra crude oil from that big train line that these refineries aren't using all up. And I also need more plastic now that everything's running with these supercomputers because my plastic line is not quite full enough. I ran through all of the plastic that was stored up over in the fuel generator. So this hopefully will solve that issue. I've just got 6 refineries laid out. I'll slightly overclock them, and then I'm just gonna use the standard. Well, this one's not set. Gonna use the standard plastic because then I get this heavy oil residue, which I'm gonna use to start some petroleum coke going. I've used a lot of compacted coal and stuff, but I haven't actually used the petroleum coke. But I know I'll need it, so I'll make some of that here. Finishing design on this building. I still need to change a few things, but we'll get this figured out, and I'll let you know where we get to. Before I start work on finishing this thing up, let me show you where I started this next train line. So I think I pointed this out in my first video, but I built this up more. I've got 4 freight and 2 fluid stations. It's going to run on the same track, and it's going to run up this big spiral here, which I am in the midst of constructing. I kind of paused that when I found out that my plastic was shorting, so I'm going to take care of that first before I finish that. And then this is going to bring in a bunch of things for batteries and all the acids. Can't help but mention the fact that my world was recently shown in a Fan Factory showcase by Total Eclipse. I sent it to him with apparently a broken email, and I didn't even know if it would have gotten there. But that was a very wonderful surprise when I was scrolling through my feed, and I saw a base in a thumbnail that looked awfully familiar. So if you want a more cinematically shot look at some of these builds, go check out his video as well. That'll kind of be as far as I expand over this way, I think, because that's pretty far towards the landmass. I've got so much more room over here. Now I know I got a lot of comments in, not my video, no one's commenting in my video, but in Total Eclipse's video about how this is going to get ruined in the update and how worried everyone is. And, kind of made me panic a little, but it seems like that probably is a long ways off. Jace said definitely not this year, and only potentially in update 6. So I figure I'll get what I want done here before any of that happens. Alrighty, so let's get to work. Added some supports in the back. I think this looks so nice where you get the double arch. You can, if you put the walkway like that, and I could put this halfway on. That's just let me get that little slope. It just looks nice. So I have it to a point that I consider pretty much complete. It is operational. I got some polish left to do, probably make it look a little more completed. But I chose purple as the lighting color for now. It matches up with these pipes and everything. All of these got 1 power shard in them. That way we're making 90 a minute, which is just more than I need to fuel these 2, so these should be fully operational the whole time. We've got overflow going out the back into the sink here so that this can just continue to run and run. Sinking me some more points. I don't know, I wonder how close I am to that next statue. So, I'll show you where this runs. So the reason I did this, like I said, is because my plastic was running low. Making supercomputers and things for all of that, and it's just running down. So I'm going to merge this line. It's going to head this way. I'm going to connect under this, and that wraps around before heading up onto this bus, and it merges itself with the plastic coming in from the fuel generation. And so that should hopefully make things a little bit better. We'll see if it backs itself back up maybe. But that means this is working and it's doing what I need to do. So now I also have the coke to work with. I'm going to probably take that, go back around there, and that'll be used in the area I'm making again. But That's another completed project. I think it looks kind of cool, interesting, pretty open, nestled back here. I really appreciate you checking back in with this video. Hopefully this was somewhat entertaining for you too. I had a lot of fun making this. I think it's a cool little structure. Played around with some shapes, that's what I like to do. Again, if you have any suggestions for colors or something that I can make this pop, I think it could use maybe a little bit more. So with that, I can probably move back on to that train station. I'll finish up that spiral we were looking at. That'll get us going on some of the later game productions, and I'm pretty excited about that. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good time, and hope you have a good one.